In 1984, Metallica released their second album called Ride the Lightning. This the rock and roll weatherman. My name is Sean Morrison. It came out July 27th, 1984 by the independent record label Megaforce Records, of course, in New Jersey, of course. The album recorded in 3 weeks with producer Fleming um, Rasmussen. If I'm saying his name right, he is from Copenhagen, Denmark. That's where they recorded at the Sweet Silence Studio. And if you didn't know about the artwork on Ride the Lightning, it depicts an electric chair being struck by lightning flowing from the band logo, and the title was taken from a passage in the Stephen King's novel The Stand, in which a character uses the phrase to refer to the execution by electric chair. And it was although rooted in the thrash metal genre, the album showcased the band's musical growth and lyrical sophistication. The late Cliff Burton, their bassist at the time, introduced the basics of music theory to the band and had more input in songwriting beyond the fast tempos of its debut Kill 'Em All. Metallica branded its approach, broadened its approach by employing the acoustic guitars, extended instrumentals, and more complex harmonies. Something I did not know that the overcall recording costs were paid by the European label Music for Nations because Megaforce was unable to cover it. And it was the last album to feature songwriting contributions from formerly guitarist Dave Mustaine, who went on to Megadeth to form them, and they're still around today too. And the first to feature contributions from successor Kirk Hammett, and it did get positive reviews from music critics. Um, it peaked at number 100 on the Billboard Top 200 with no airplay exposure, and then virtually, like I said, no exposure. It's since reached number 48. 75,000 copies originally pressed for the American market. The album sold half a million by November 1987, and it's now about 6 million sold as of 2012. Always like this album, listening to it, going going up and everything, growing up and everything, and it was always pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. Um, and if everybody remembers something regarding James Hetman, the singer, he felt uneasy about performing double duty on vocals and rhythm guitar. The band offered the job to Armored Saint singer John Bush, who turned the offer down because Armored Saint was doing well at the time. Obviously, they didn't sell as many records as Metallica, but they did have a following, of course. And he went back to the role of doing both. Now, believe it or not, in 1984, they played second on a bill and played 10 songs, a sold out show in New York City's Roseland Ballroom in 1984 of August. Something pretty cool. I know, I know I'm talking about the background here, but I'll get into the songs in a few. And the budget was originally 20 grand. The finals expense was above 30 grand US dollars compared to 94 grand, $711 in 2024. And then, you know, it just it just sucks with what happened that the European label had to cover the cost, and unfortunately, they weren't happy with the promotion of the record label, and then they parted ways with them. And then Elektra Records noticed them at a gig, and then they got a record deal, and that's pretty cool to know. And then the album got re-released, and the rest is history. Now, getting into the tracks on the album, man, it's been a long time since I listened to this thing in its entirety. 8 songs. Fight Fire with Fire, great song. Ride the Lightning, a great song, of course. For Who the Bell Tolls, another popular song, a fan favorite. Fade to Black, probably one of their best songs. Um, definitely, definitely a great um song, and was never released as a single, and it looks like it's a platinum single in Austria and the United Kingdom as well. Now getting back to more songs on there. Of course, Trap on the right started off. Sorry, two on the record. Escape, Creeping Death, another one that was more popular, one of their most popular, and of course, the Call of Cthulhu, which was a instrumental, and Dave Mustaine got a writing credit on Ride the Lightning as well as the song The Call of Cthulhu, if I'm saying it right, and the digital reissue, live versions of Whom the Bell Tolls, as well as Creeping Death. Friends, if you're not subscribed to the Show Morrison YouTube channel, please do so. Everyone else out there subscribed. We thank you much for the continued love, honor, and support. It is greatly appreciated. Of course, the lineup was James Hetfield, of course, the singer and the rhythm guitarist. On the drums, Lars Ulrich. On the bass, it was Cliff Burton. Rest in peace, Cliff. You're still missed. Kurt Hammett, of course, the guitar and he did the backing vocals on Creeping Death. Oh, brother, it's been so long since I've actually listened to this album from start to finish. And eventually this became a top 10 album on the Billboard rock charts as well. I think that was many years later, but you could tell his friends what your favorite songs are on the Metallica Ride the Lightning album. Mine are Fade to Black, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Trapped on
Ride the Lightning.
Yes, Janaki's going with Ride the Lightning. And Creeping Death.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, For Whom the Bell Tolls, it's like at the end, the bells just keep whatever. Okay. I don't know. I know it starts at the beginning, but at the end, when with the guitars and all that, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. No friends. Mr. Morrison, nothing blabbing for now. We'd like to know your favorite songs off the classic Metallica album, Ride the Lightning. Leave them here. Leave your comments here. Shame, shame, shame.